What was Robert E. Lee's strategic brilliance at Fredericksburg? Imagine standing on a battlefield where the odds are stacked against you, yet you turn the tide with clever moves. That's exactly what Robert E. Lee did during the Battle of Fredericksburg in December 1862. This battle was part of the larger Fredericksburg Campaign, a key fight in the Eastern Theater of the American Civil War. Lee's skill was on full display, as he used the terrain and his forces wisely to outsmart a larger Union army led by General Ambrose Burnside. Lee chose Unknown Heights as his defensive position. This hill was naturally strong, with steep slopes and a stone wall at the top. By occupying this high ground, Lee gave his soldiers a commanding view and a natural fortress. His troops could fire down on the attacking Union soldiers as they crossed open fields, making it deadly for the Federals. This terrain advantage turned the battlefield into a killing zone for Union forces, who launched repeated frontal assaults that resulted in heavy casualties. Another smart move was Lee's focus on force concentration. He gathered his smaller army in well-prepared defensive works, making the most of the technology of the time. Rifled muskets and artillery were more accurate and deadly, especially when used from fortified positions. Lee's decision to hold the high ground behind the stone meant Union troops couldn't break through easily. Instead, they suffered devastating losses trying to assault the Confederate defenses. Lee also showed patience and tactical restraint. Despite being outnumbered by about one-third, he didn't rush into offensive moves. Instead, he strengthened his defenses and waited for the Union to attack. This patience paid off because the Union's repeated frontal assaults became increasingly costly and ineffective. Lee's leadership kept his forces organized and ready to respond quickly to Union movements. He was also quick to adapt to the battlefield situation. When Union troops tried to flank his positions, Lee shifted his troops to cover the vulnerable spots. His ability to coordinate different parts of his army kept the Confederates united and resilient. This strategic flexibility made it nearly impossible for Union forces to break his line. In the end, Lee's use of terrain, force concentration, and patience turned Fredericksburg into a major Confederate victory. His defensive strategy inflicted heavy casualties on the Union and boosted Confederate morale. It also demonstrated how a smaller force could effectively defend against a larger army by smart planning and understanding the battlefield. Lee's brilliance at Fredericksburg remains a prime example of defensive warfare and strategic thinking during the Civil War.